Friday, everyone out there at the PJCN. We're back. We're here tonight to watch a really fun movie called The Invitation. It's March 12th, 2021. And with me, as always, is my great friend, Maxwell. Hi, Maxwell. You're muted. You're muted.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long week. There's been a lot going on, but we made it through, and we're here tonight, and we're going to have a fun time watching The Invitation. Just enjoying myself as best as possible.
I feel that. I feel that in a big way. I do.
Man. Well, I think before we bring in our friend, do we have some stuff that we should talk about real fast?
Yeah, we have a couple things coming up.
Cool.
Are we doing a water cooler chat tomorrow just for funsies?
I mean, we can.
I don't know. There was some talk about it. We'll see. But Sunday, the Unwind is back. Once again, no idea what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be super casual after last week's MCU bloodbath. Monday, Women Filmmaker Month continues with a watch-along of Something's Gotta Give by Nancy Meyers. This film is available on Amazon and Hulu. And joining us for that watch-along will be Teresa and Manish from It Pod to Be You, Talk Film Society. He's been on a couple shows before, and maybe some other folks. I know Kristen likes the movie. She might join us if she's available. That's going to be really fun. I'm a big fan of that movie. I've watched it a couple times actually in the past year. And I think Nancy Meyers is one of our great women filmmakers of the last 20, 30 years. So this feels like a perfect choice to celebrate her. And people forget Diane Keaton was Oscar nominated for leading actress for this performance. And I think she's brilliant in it. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, man, look, I couldn't agree more. I'm a big Nancy Meyers fan. I think she's fantastic. And it was such a great choice by you because it was one we had both talked about at one point. So I'm really glad that we're doing it.
Awesome. Tuesday, the new episode of Box drops. It's called Drunk. It's going to be interesting. And this is the wrong thumbnail. Chris, I swear to God. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Box. Look forward to that on Tuesday. Patrons will get it early. If you haven't had a chance, check out this past week's Suddenly Soundtracks Off the Record. This was picked by our patron, Sean Wingblade. Thank you, Sean, for your support. That's about it. I mean, I think there's a Suddenly Soundtracks this week. I'm not sure. Oh, it's an Elton John show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I believe that is this week.
And then the following Wednesday is the 1-year celebration of the PJCN. It's just going to be a long, nonstop stream with alcohol and a lot of surprise guests. And I'll say this, StreamYard, for those who aren't familiar, will only let you have 10 people on screen at once. So we will be broadcasting from Zoom so we can get more than 10 people because, oh boy, it's a murderer's row of people who want to come hang out and celebrate. And it's going to be an absolute blast. People you know, people you love, maybe some vegetables. If PJ's dealt with that, I don't know. That was his job.
I'm already talking to him.
Okay, great. Lots of fun stuff. I want to apologize for last night's Front Center Mez being canceled. Unfortunately, there were some issues. However, I've already rescheduled with our guest, Andrew Kober. So looking forward real quick at the Front Center Mez schedule. 2 weeks from yesterday will be our show with Lance Rubin, which was a reschedule from before. And then a month from yesterday will be a reschedule with Andrew Kober. So we're getting them in. Don't worry. Finally, we do have a Patreon. Check it out. See if there's a tier that's right for you. And as always, a special shout out to our executive producers, Brandon Buckingham, Brandy Parker, and Ricardo Parco. Brandy Parco. That's what I'm going to call her from now on. Our gold producer, Sean Wingblade, and all our amazing producers, Anton Putra, Beth Harris, Chris Pokernoy, Ferris Muthana, Jeff Alterman, a.k.a. Quiz Show, Jake Berlin, Michael K., Molly Damon, Patricia Carrillo, She-Raw Potato, Stephen White, Kale the Youth Critic, and Tyler Birch. I swear that list grows all the time. And also, shout out to our new ist patron, not a producer, but still welcome, Adelia. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check it out. See if there's a tier that's right for you. We have a Discord. We have all such a fun stuff. We have Box bloopers coming up called Bloop Bloop. You get early access to Box, monthly audio commentaries, etc. Now, this film was picked. Oh, man. Cam says, Karyn Kusama, my friend and film school partner since 1987. That's incredible.
That's amazing.
This film was picked by our great executive producer, Brandy Parker. I love this movie. I love Karyn Kusama. I think Jennifer's Body is one of the most misunderstood films of the last 15 years.
100%.
And I also think it has deservedly found reevaluation over the past few years. I think the movie was way ahead of its time. I think it is so intellectually stimulating while also being a hilarious dark comedy. But we're not watching Jennifer's Body. We're watching The Invitation. This movie came out. It played festivals in 2015. It came out in 2016. It was released by Drafthouse Films. What a trip it is. What a cast it has. Mm-hmm. And before you ask, no, it's not Tom Hardy. It's Logan Marshall Green. They are twins.
Yes.
But let's bring on one other person who I couldn't imagine watching this movie without. He is our horror guru, one of my favorite people. I'm sure he's going to have lots of great insights during this film that will allow me to stay quiet. It's Tim Franks.
Hello. That is me, Tim Franks.
Brandy Parker and Tim Franks.
Yeah,
What's
Franks.
up? It's PJ Canby.
Frank Dukes.
I'm back.
Frank Dukes. I like this movie a lot. I was telling Pat before we started the show, but I've only seen this movie once, and I saw it for the first time this last Halloween season. Like, it was on my radar to watch for a long time, and I just never watched it. So I did finally watch it this last season, and I really liked it a lot. But that's because the whole actually, I don't want to really say much. I don't know if people haven't seen it in the chat, so I'm not going to say about this. I'll just say the subgenre for this type of horror film is is my second favorite overall subgenre of horror.
What I said when we talked about this film the other day is I wouldn't call this a movie that has a huge twist. However, the way it unfolds and the pieces of information it reveals as the picture starts to form is fascinating. Yes. And there's another film that PJ and I watched recently on your recommendation, a couple of films that I think are also in that subgenre and work really nicely with this one. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you know what we're talking about.
Oh, yes.
But before we start the film, which, by the way, is on Netflix, it's nice and easily and accessible. Any other notes, anyone, before we get started?
No, man, I'm just excited. I remember when this came out, and then eventually it came to Blu-ray, but it was super expensive. I don't remember if at one point it was an import or not, but this movie is such a trip. I think it was actually Perry back in the early Collider Live days. Or not Collider Live, but the Movie Talk days, talking about this movie and wrecking this movie. So that's kind of where I found out about it, was through that. So I'm excited to revisit it.
I'm trying to remember how I found out about it. I think it was just one that was well liked and talked about a lot. And again, I'm a fan of Karyn Kusama. I thought Destroyer was really good. Even Aeon Flux, I think, has some really interesting stuff in it. And she's a filmmaker I would love to see do more. Because I think she's super talented. But we'll talk more about her and The Invitation when we start. Would you say it's a slow burn? Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. Okay. If you've never been here before, welcome. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing good on this March 12th. If you are a repeat offender, make sure to get your card punched on the way out if you watch 12 watch-alongs.
And validate your parking too.
Yeah, if you get a card punched for 12 watch-alongs, that means the 13th is free. And you're probably saying to yourself, but 1 through 12 are free also. Well, you know what? I just work here. PJ is going to count down from 5. He'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And we will press play on Karyn Kusama's The Invitation, starring Logan Marshall Green and one of my favorite actors who's done a lot of great work in horror, Michael Huisman, who starred in Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House and Game of Thrones and The Flight Attendant, etc.
Yeah. I'm super excited. So are you guys ready to do this?
I am so ready. Let's just say that I RSVP, yes.
Well, then let's get this party going that you RSVP to in 5, 4, 3,
Wouldn't
2,
be a watch along.
1, go. If Dipper didn't bark.
Dipper barking when you started counting. Game Changer Films. Ooh.
I don't know why he barks over counting. Like, Dipper's got a hard time with numbers or something?
No, it's funny. Like, my dogs like behave like all day, and then anytime I have
it's going to be really nice when in a couple years people go to the cinema and this is the first thing they see before the movie starts. Mahookin Films. By the way, I did look on Amazon. You can get the Blu-ray for $17. So
that's awesome. I'm glad that it no longer costs like a ridiculous amount of money.
So how many people are in the chat that haven't seen this?
It's a good question.
That is Logan Marshall Green, who, yes, as I said, looks a lot like Tom Hardy, and who stars in the dope as hell Upgrade. If you haven't seen it, watch Upgrade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, I can't wait for the TV show.
I know.
Upgrade's incredible.
Yeah, it's great. And it's so funny that Venom came out around the same time because they're so similar. Mm-hmm. And they look so similar, and yet one of them is significantly superior.
Yeah, and yet an Upgrade made
Chris,
like, no money.
If our paths ever cross in person, I will buy you some nachos. Already a little jump scare there at the beginning. Chris definitely would have screamed.
100% he would have.
Brandy said this is her 48th watch along. And I believe this is our 93rd watch along.
Yes, that is correct.
So that means, based on the math, Brandy's basically been here for half of them. Excuse me.
Hey, what's up, Andy? Good to see you.
Andy, what's up, dude?
I'm trying to figure. I'd have to look, but this looks like it was shot in Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, because I mean, I think the house is in the Hollywood Hills, I believe.
That's right. Okay, because it looks very much like that area.
Yeah,
I was trying to remember. Like, I'm pretty sure I've probably driven. Stretch.
That's why I heard so much about it, because the film premiered at South by in 2015, and then Draft Out Films picked it up. Oh, that sound effect!
I know.
Hopefully, he killed it in one hit, unlike the raccoon or whatever it was in Sex Drive.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
But that's done to comedic effect.
Yeah, this is not nearly as.
I
couldn't do this if.
I like the shot selection there by using the view from like the back seat of the car.
It really makes you feel like you're there.
Yeah, he's rocking a pretty great beard, and his hair in this is on point. On point. I think the first time I ever saw Logan Marshall Green was playing Ryan's brother on the OC.
I know he was in Prometheus.
Yes.
Which was 2012.
Yeah. Oh God, this music and the frame rate of that. Incredible.
It's unsettling in the best way.
Oh, super unsettling. The music here is by. Go ahead.
I was like, he's in Across the Universe.
Yes, he is.
I didn't realize that.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I forgot. I just rewatched that recently too.
It's been a while since I've rewatched that, so that's why I don't remember him.
We had it. Maybe we'll watch that later this month because Julie Taymor. Cross the Universe.
Yeah.
Theodore Shapiro composed this music, and it's so unsettling. Yeah, we talked a little bit about this. I think Karyn Kusama is great and super underappreciated. I think Jennifer's Body is brilliant and was really misunderstood and overlooked when it came out, and I've really appreciated the critical realignment surrounding it. I think Destroyer is solid. Even Aeon Flux, which is not a favorite of mine, I think is pretty decent. And I'd love to see her get more work. I think she's real talented.
Yeah, the only other movie I've seen of hers is Aeon Flux. I haven't seen Jennifer's Body. Jennifer's Body's been on my list to see for a while too, but
I think you'd love it.
But they were going to show it at the last, before COVID happened, they were going to show it at the Screamerama, the last Screamerama that was going to happen, which was last March. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. So I'm going to wait because I have a feeling that once they can do a Screamerama again, I have a feeling they might try to use some of the same films they were planning on using for the last one. So
I really love that line of dialogue because it already sets up the dynamic between him and his ex-wife. You know, she goes, this was your house? And she goes, a lot of money in Eden's family. None of it was ever mine, though.
Yeah.
And this music and the slow motion, it's just such a gripping way to start. I've seen Girl Fight with Michelle Rodriguez. That was a movie that put her on the map. I remember renting it at Blockbuster, actually, but I haven't seen it in a long time. They're so lovely. You should see it, Brandy. It stars Michelle Rodriguez. It was Karyn's first film. Another movie I think this would make a good double feature with is You're Next.
Yeah, definitely. Very similar ensemble.
Yes. And this is not involved with anyone, but there's still an element of this that feels like mumblecore to me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Your Next has a lot of mumblecore people involved in it, but
I think another good pairing is Ready or Not.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And there's that one with David Hyde Pierce. Which is called The Perfect Host.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, Andy, we actually were talking about this, the fact that Venom and Upgrade are so similar and they like the same actor, essentially. It's just so funny how that happened. But I am incredibly excited for the TV show that they're doing.
I find Michael Heisman, and I'm not 100% sure that's how you say it, so attractive. But I also think he's really versatile as an actor because he plays such a restrained, nebbishy guy in Hill House, and then in other things he has so much swagger.
Yeah, he was so good in Hill House, dude.
Hush? Are you talking about Hush?
Yeah, Hush. That is one of my
Hush
favorites.
Is great.
Mike Flanagan.
Another Mike Flanagan.
Yeah. Yes, you could definitely pair this with Funny Games. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is her next project. Karyn's next project is a Dracula movie.
Right.
They wouldn't even need any special effects. Leigh Whannell said they're making an Upgrade TV show. I don't know if Logan Marshall Green will be in it, but I bet he will be.
Yes, Brandy, you definitely need to see Hush.
Yeah, you'd love it, Brandy.
Hush is great. I just watched Hush as well this last Halloween season. I went through and watched a
one's
bunch of
good.
like the movies that were on Netflix that I hadn't seen, like this and Hush and Gerald's Game. I watched all those for the first time this last season,
Gerald's Game's fantastic.
and they're all
What
great.
are you wedding, Kale?
The TV show, probably.
Oh, maybe.
That would be my guess. I like when filmmakers are able to continue their story in some fashion, even though like the movie didn't do super well at the box office. But like Blumhouse is like, well, we'll just turn it into a TV show.
Well, Blumhouse also makes movies on the cheap, so even if it doesn't do well, they rarely lose money.
Yep, they're one of the most brilliant studios right now in the market, to be honest.
I think they're all budgeted and designed so if it fails at the box office, it's most likely still going to break even on rentals.
Yeah.
Hush is the type of movie I find really inspiring because it's 2 actors, 1 house, and talent. And one of the actors is the director's wife, the lead actress. So you can just do it. There is already so much that's not being said.
I know.
Intention.
God, the way he says that line, it was mercy, sounds so creepy.
Like I said, I think Michael, and I'm sure I'm butchering his name, Heisman, is a fantastic actor.
No, it totally is.
I always take a chance to sing the praises of The Flight Attendant on HBO Max. He co-stars with Kaylee Cuoco. And I don't want to spoil anything, but the way his character is used and his performance is so rad.
Agreed.
Oh, you watched it?
Sorry?
You watched The Flight Attendant?
I finally watched the first episode. I need to finish it, but so
Got it.
far, yes.
No, that's fair. I was just curious.
Yeah, you know.
My mouse is being awful. Thank you, Kale. Heisman, Mike Heisman. Thank you. And by the way, I don't know, someone's been in the chat recently commenting on my hair and how crazy it's been. Well, I got a haircut today. I hope you're happy.
He looks very nice, though, Maxwell.
Good night, Cam. Be careful with Brother Lomas. That guy is concerning.
I saw someone in the Facebook group last night after the match and was like, before I go to bed, I'm checking under my bed to make sure that Brother Lomas isn't there.
I know we try not to talk too much about that stuff here, but I'll say on paper, I was super skeptical about the character. In execution thus far, one of the most exciting new characters the show has seen in a long time. An actual character.
I'll refrain from my thoughts. Pat knows my thoughts. I'm not a fan of the character at all. I don't think it works. But
That's fair. Swing and a miss.
I think it's trying too hard for personally, but go for it.
I'm not going to talk about it, but here's everything I feel about it.
Hey, there we go. It's out there. Been drinking.
Oh, thank you, Kale. I appreciate it.
You know, I'm going to be honest. This is just like, I love this movie, but because of what we were talking about earlier, and you were talking about the movies that Tim recommended, now all I can think about is I really, really want to go back and watch The Endless again.
Yeah, when you guys
shouldn't-
finally watched those movies, I went back and watched both Resolution and Endless and The Endless.
Everywhere in New York is open for haircuts. I mean, you have to wear a
Yeah.
mask, and the barber was wearing a mask, but both of us are vaccinated, which is nice.
I got
Arizona
my
was
vaccine.
good.
I got my shot today.
How you feeling?
I feel fine. So
Is your arm sore at all? Take some
tomorrow's
Tylenol.
good. No, it's not, I guess it's a little sore if I touch it, but it's not like
That's good.
I'm not noticing it unless I'm like,
After mine,
oh yeah, there it is.
for like 12 hours, I felt like I couldn't like lift my arm. It was so painful and heavy.
Mine was nice and drive through. I didn't even have to get out of my car. I just drove through and
Yeah, I don't know how much you know about New York City, but drive-through vaccination sites
Yeah.
are not a thing they're gonna do.
No.
Imagine like getting an Uber, be like, "Hey, Uber, I gotta stick my arm out the window."
There was this group in a minivan like in the lane next to me, and they were like, it was all like old people, and it was a minivan, and there was like 4 people in it, and they had the both sliding doors on the side of the minivan open, so they could easily just get the vaccines administered.
Yeah, Kay will have to take pictures. I hope it looks good.
Does that mean he's getting his haircut or a shot?
Oh, I think vaccine. That's far more important.
Yes.
Either way, whether it's a haircut or a vaccine, I'm excited for you. More so for the vaccine.
Definitely.
But also, haircuts are nice. Self-care. Gotta look good for the homies.
Yeah, I need to get a haircut.
Oh, he said probably both, so that's fair.
There you go. There you go.
It's gone already? Oh boy.
It's funny. I'm very similar to this character in this way. I'm very present on what's going on around me. So I would probably be in a similar boat as him. I'd be like, there's just some weird shit going on.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm very like that. I'm very suspicious and just of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be impossible for me not to be in this situation and not just feel uncomfortable and like something feels wrong.
First of all, accepting an invitation to a party that your ex-wife is throwing is already weird.
Yes.
Brandy froze. Timestamp. Oh, it's impossible. Netflix goes backwards.
I know.
120. So going backwards, 122.10, 122.09, 122.08, 122.07.
It's so hard sometimes.
This actor, I think his name is John Carroll Lynch.
Yeah, John Carroll Lynch.
who I
is
adore.
incredible.
He's great when he shows up in things.
Zodiac, especially.
I was building to that. Like, so good at everything, but what he does in Zodiac is...
Yeah.
He was
that performance.
He's great in Zodiac.
Quite good in the ensemble of Trial of Chicago 7.
Didn't he?
And he was in
the.
Oh, go ahead, Tim.
Didn't he direct that movie Lucky from a few years ago? That Harry Dean Stanton's final role.
I think so. Yeah.
I think he directed that, if I remember correctly.
And he also
maybe not.
Did.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, you're correct.
What was I just thinking of? The Founder. He was actually really good in The Founder. Him and Keaton. The movie wasn't great, but he was real good in it.
He's good in Shutter Island.
Yes.
He's the metro worker that sacrifices himself in Volcano.
Yes, he is. Fucking
For some reason,
movie.
that scene doesn't hold emotional with me. It makes me laugh. I don't know what
He's He's one of those that guy actors, but I think he stood out so much in a couple of things where he's sort of he's
Isn't he the killer clown in one of the seasons of Hell House or whatever, American Horror Story?
Yes, horrifying.
Yeah.
And all the way back in the day, he was Frances McDormand's husband in Fargo.
Yep, and he was so good in that too.
So good. Great actor.
He's very imposing.
He is, but there's also something very like average about him.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't look like an actor. He just blends in. Like he's the type of guy you'd see on the street.
Yep.
Yeah. To be honest, I think that's what makes him so satisfyingly creepy in Zodiac.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Certainly not me.
No.
And if it was, why would I tell you?
Although I will say Zodiac basically posits that he is the Zodiac killer, and that is actually pretty much at this point in the history of the case been proven that person was not the killer.
Well, that's because it's Ted Cruz. The actress playing Eden is Tammy Blanchard, who up until the shutdown was starring off-Broadway as Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors. If you listen to the off-Broadway cast album with Jonathan Groff, she is the Audrey on that album.
Yep.
Her right there in the white.
That sound effect.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the camera movements and stuff. This
is another movie that you could add on that list that Brandy, when she was asking about movies that take place in one location.
Yes.
Good one.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it was recommended or put on the list, but this is a great one for that.
This would pair well with Get Out and Us. They have a very similar feel and vibe.
Yeah.
And I think a part of that is the score, because it reminds me of the Us score a lot, and especially the Us trailer.
I need Broadway shows to come to New York, and so I can see them.
That's a fair assessment.
It's such good filmmaking because nothing has happened, but you know something is off.
Yeah, something's not right.
And his acting is great, just his looks without overdoing it.
Yeah.
I like the lighting too. The way that you saw the room was well lit. Well lit. Haircuts in Broadway. On my way. I don't blame you.
You know, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
I can't tell you, by the way, just how good that meatball shop sauce was. Like, that's so specific. It was real good tonight.
I'm glad that made you happy.
What are you talking about?
There's a restaurant in New York called the Meatball Shop. They have a bunch of locations now, and I guess they started bottling and selling their sauce, like tomato sauce.
Nice.
I got it at Sprouts.
Sauce that you can have, but the secret, she's a mine.
PJ and I went to the Meatball Shop once when he was here. I love it. I get
It's so good.
Because when you're eating low carb, meatballs and sauce is a great choice, and they have good vegetables on the side. But you can also get it with. Anyways, I like the Meatball Shop.
Yeah, I do too, and that's why I had to get it. And their sauce is real specific, and it really maintained, which was cool.
There's this pasta shop
They actually
downtown that just reopened that I need to try.
They look quite similar.
Me with you.
Sarah's, yeah.
The two of them.
They do.
And they have similar beards. Like, she has a type.
It's like Rachel with Ross and Russ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
He looks so young without facial hair. It's wild.
All the flashbacks are good.
Oh, What If It's Us is so lovely. Did you like it, Kale? It's literally called The Meatball Shop. That's the extent of it. Hey,
Yeah.
Patty.
What's up, Patty?
Hope you're having a good night, and thank you for watching it later. So when I'm saying this, how much we like Patty and appreciate Patty, and that it's Friday, when she's watching it, all of that will be true, except it'll be Saturday.
I went to a really good. I just looked it up. I went to a really good meatball restaurant in downtown Pittsburgh called Emporio, a meatball joint. When I was there for work conference, it was delicious.
It sounds amazing.
Okay, I swear to God, because I had kind of half looked away, and these headphones are so good, I thought that scream was coming from inside my house, and I was about to freak out. I was like, what happened? Because also, I know Liz's scream, and that was not clearly Liz. So I was like, who's in my house and who's screaming? Stop making such good headphones, Sony.
I know. Goddamn, Sony, get it together.
Yes, I have read it. I'm a big fan of both Adam Silvera and Becky Albertrelli. And I think that book beautifully captures so much of what I love of New York.
This is where they get all their friends together and say, now let me tell you about this group I joined.
Yep.
Oh, we have prepared some materials for your perusal.
At the end, we'll take donations.
We'll be passing around the collection tray, whatever your heart sees fit.
This just makes me uncomfortable because it 100% even like reminds me of.
So first of all, Kale, I highly recommend. My friend runs a Twitter called, an Instagram called A Very Queer Book Club, where his focus is mostly on young adult queer novels. His name is Jacob. He's also on Twitter. But yeah, I've read all of Becky's books. I have not read the Infinity Sun sequel that Adam wrote, which just came out last week, but I am a big fan of both. But yeah, A Very Queer Book Club on Instagram is an awesome resource.
This video was made by Michael Scott.
It does have that energy, doesn't it? Okay, and this actor is Toby Huss.
Yep.
Who I love. What were we watching on here recently that he also showed up in?
Shoot. I can't remember.
Well, he's on *Halt and Catch Fire*, which is one of my favorite shows that no one else has seen. What the hell were we watching that he showed up in? I'm looking it up.
My favorite thing that he was ever known for. Anyone know what it is?
No, sir.
He played Artie, the strongest man in the world, on the Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Which is my favorite
so he's in Halloween, which
we watched back in October.
Yeah, but it was more.
He's in the remake of Martyrs. That original movie is a movie, hey? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this shit's like so weird and unsettling.
Yes.
So creepy. Like, this makes me feel not good watching.
Oh, it was an episode of Criminal Minds I watched in which he was a guest star.
Oh, that makes sense.
Forgive me. It was one of those things, though, where if I didn't figure it out, my head was going to explode.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Hate it. Like, literally physical pain.
I was just looking at his filmography, and I just saw that he's also
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I just looked at his filmography and I just realized he's also the guy that sells Rusty Griswold the fake ID in Vegas.
He
Oh, yeah.
is.
A guy on the town.
These scenes in the video remind me of The Last Exorcism.
Totally. Yeah.
That movie, it's
I
funny because
need to watch that movie. I haven't seen it.
I had forgot about it, and then Bibbs on Twitter today or yesterday posted his list of what he thought the 10 best found footage movies are, and that was on it.
Oh, I need
And
to look
had
at that list.
flashbacks to remembering how intense that movie was. Oh, thank you, Andy. I really appreciate
thanks,
that.
Andy.
And he
That's
said,
awesome,
just
man.
subscribe. Hadn't realized I wasn't already my bad. Seems like a genuinely brilliant community looking forward to hanging out more. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, come hang out anytime.
We've just tried to build a fun, optimistic place. And I think it's working because people keep coming back. So
You know, I really like Wreck also. If you've never seen Wreck, speaking of found footage, that movie is bonkers good.
it is. And the remake is not so bad.
Yeah, the first one at least. I thought.
Yeah. What do they call it? Quarantine?
Quarantine.
Yeah, Quarantine, yeah.
And it had what's her name from Dexter?
Jennifer Carpenter.
Jennifer Carpenter,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Limitless.
Also, happy to discover The Last Exorcism is on HBO Max right now.
I need to watch it. I haven't seen that.
Ooh. And so is The Alienist.
Ooh, The Alienist.
Yeah, that's sort of how I feel about it. It's much better than that shit. Like, I thought it was going to be another schlocky, bad found footage film, and it actually worked really well. Caleb Landry Jones is in that, and he's always creepy, that dude. Even in X-Men movies, I'm like, I don't trust him. He's using his Zodiac cadence here too. Very slow, deliberate, not modulating the tone of his voice so much, so it's very eerie.
He's just so good at being
unsettling without he's not doing anything. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, the inclination for an actor in that part would be to do the most.
But he doesn't.
Like a certain long-haired musician who got some nominations for a Denzel Washington movie. You do the most. You act.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to be, and that works.
Keanu's made a great career of that too, in my opinion. I think that's why his characters are so relatable. Like, I really do. It's because he doesn't overact.
Keanu's at his worst in the movies where he's trying to act.
Yeah.
Again, this is not an insult. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Kale. Yeah, it's a wonderful account. Like I said, Jacob, who runs it's on Twitter, he's a friend of mine. Awesome stuff. There is so much texture lying underneath what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I like how the movie just doesn't immediately come out and tell you. It sort of all gets pieced together. Has Keanu Reeves been in a horror movie in the last decade besides Knock Knock?
No, not that I can think of.
So. I would say he was in Watcher, but that was in 2000.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of sci-fi that has some stuff, but horror, I don't think so.
Yeah, he really has.
Wasn't Knock Knock an Eli Roth movie?
Yeah.
Wasn't that terrible?
I mean, I'm not particularly a fan of Eli Roth, so.
Yep. So unsettling.
That's everything about this movie. Like, again, it's just brilliant in the way that it plays out.
He was in the. I was just looking at his thing. He was in the Neon Demon. But
Oh, yeah.
that's not a very conventional horror film.
So the first time I saw that movie, I hated it. And then the second time I saw it, I thought it was brilliant. It is not for everybody.
No, definitely not.
That's most of his movies, to be honest.
Other than Drive, which I think is his most conventional movies, everything else Nicholas Winding Refn does is very much its own thing, which I appreciate.
I appreciate it. I don't always like it, but I appreciate it, and that's what matters.
The Neon Demon has an incredible score.
It's also shot really well too.
It is. I saw it in a theater for the first time, and the thing about New York is there's an AMC in Times Square that has 26 screens. So even when like art house films or limited release films open, they'll still get it. And so the crowds that end up seeing those movies are sometimes not the type of crowds you'd find at actual art houses.
Right.
So they don't know what they're getting into. So I remember towards the end of the Neon Demon where that eating happens, people were like so vocal and pissed and confused. It was quite an experience.
Phenobarbital. Yeah, it's a little unusual because that's what you use to kill things.
That's just a barbiturate, Tim. You don't know what you're talking about. What's up, Reefism?
What up, man?
That is a bizarre double feature. The Neon Demon and the BFG. Talk about tonal whiplash.
I told you the weirdest triple feature I ever had in high school, right? It was a triple feature of King Arthur, The Terminal, and Dodgeball.
2004.
Yeah,
King Arthur with Clive Owen.
Yeah.
Tim, for 2 points, who directed that?
Antoine Fuqua.
Correct.
I still got it. I like that movie.
I haven't seen it since that weekend, actually.
I don't remember it. I kind of like the Guy Ritchie one.
I liked it because it was like a more probably like accurate of what actually King Arthur's like actual like history was. Whereas like he was like a Roman legionnaire essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Sure,
in the territory of England, which I thought was interesting.
Well, the second half of that video was made by Gabe.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
It was a Michael Scott Gabe co-production.
Yeah, yep. The collaboration we've all been waiting for.
Boom, roasted.
I forgot Mads Mikkelsen was in that 2004 version of King Arthur.
I haven't seen it in a long time either.
Everything about this is just so unsettling.
Oh my God. Get to
Yeah.
it. It's enough.
It's like the Mighty Python. Get on with it. She feels God in this Chili's tonight. Listen, Sadie, just collect your Dundee and get off the stage.
Oh.
This is just so uncomfortable.
Who is that?
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing.
Who?
Of course.
Does he know we're?
I'm sure he knows.
Do you know that we're live?
Who is it, Sean?
No, it's
No.
John.
Oh.
Don't put me in. Oh, damn it. I was trying to tell you guys to not put me in. I was just going to listen.
Hi,
I'm
John.
working.
It's
Hi.
not Sully, Brandy. It's John Smith.
Just made me laugh.
All right, we'll leave you in the background. I like how Brandy was like, Sully. It's not.
No.
It's John.
Now everyone knows that John is secretly on every show just in the background.
It was John all along.
Can I just say how much I hate his shirt? Not John. This guy in the film.
Pruitt.
He looks like a Pruitt. You know who's a good actor? Pruitt Taylor Vince.
You know who my favorite Pruitt character in a movie is?
Who?
Handsome John Pruitt, the one-handed tow truck driver in Adventures in Babysitting.
Is John Carroll Lynch one of the greatest character actors of all time?
Of
No.
our time, yes.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think he's good.
Of all time, I don't know. That's who's to say?
I know that our boy PLD would put Ed Harris on that list too.
Yeah, I don't know if I put him all time, but he's really great, and he's in like the modern time era.
I'll say this: you put him in something, and it's instantly elevated.
The way
Yeah.
the camera's moving is freaking.
Slow pan.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I really hope she gets to make her Dracula movie.
Me too.
I know Chloe Zhao is also working on a
Is-
Dracula movie, and
Is hers the one that's going to be focusing on the boat, or no? Like the ship, or is that a different?
Karen. No, that's Karen's.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Chloe's is like an like sci-fi Dracula western.
Yeah, the weird. Yeah, that one sounds incredible.
But yeah, I hope Karen gets to make it. Because I love her. I'd like to see her play with Dracula. You know, Dracula is an incredible character.
Yeah, I think hers is called like Last Voyage of the Demeter or something like that, right? Something like that.
Yes, I don't remember off the title, but this monologue's incredible.
Yeah.
Everything about this, man.
That's exactly what it sounded like to me, and I gotta tell you, Near Dark's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Your dark's great.
So if that's what's up, that's what's up.
You guys see the private chat? Oh, damn it, John.
Oh boy.
It just made me laugh. It's like having our own version of a troll in the chat. Oh god, everything about this is just so unfucking nerving.
And again, the subtle facial acting of Logan Marshall Green.
Yeah.
Remarkable. What a speech. Oh boy. Oh my. His girlfriend is like, what kind of a fucking party did you bring me to?
I know. I mean, yeah.
This would make a good pairing with the movie Society. Have you guys ever seen Society?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Woo! That movie's crazy.
That makes two of us, Claire.
Yep.
Yes, Kale. Absolutely loved Raya. Cried through like the whole last 15 minutes. I can't wait to watch it again. Loved it. Oof.
God.
Yeah. Tension's rising. Oh, won't you stay just a little bit longer?
It's so their like desperation to try to get her to stay is just so unnerving because you can really tell that it's just there's something wrong underneath, you know.
Well, that's convenient.
Right.
This is where it gets like super eerie. If it hasn't already been, obviously, but like when they go out to the car.
And again, this score is just the way it plays underneath.
It's also shot impeccably. Like, obviously, camera is always point of view and perspective, but I think this film uses that idea really well. There's so
Agreed.
many things we're seeing that are as he sees it, and the placement of the camera.
Well, like in that whole monologue, just not 10 minutes ago, the way that the camera, like that slow pan, it was just. God.
Oof.
Just that in that shot too. Again, the way it's the reflection of them talking is just so.
Yep. Because you lose what was happening as he lost what was happening.
You're like, why is he going back to talk to her? Oh no, I don't know what happened.
The way that he flips all of this onto him to be like, you're the problem right now. Not the fact that we're creepy and just weird people now. Excuse me. Oh God, just
Reader.
mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
The way the light's bouncing on his face in that moment too, just like
And then the out of focus shot is so beautifully shot. It really is.
yeah. This shot too, just of all the feet going up the stairs, just like something about it, the slow camera movements and stuff, just
It's
nerve-wracking.
almost in slow motion, or it might be a
Mhm.
little bit, which made it very. Again, the word is unsettling. And also, this meal looks incredible.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this spread looks good.
Like everything, like I want to eat it. Oh, charred lemons. Nice. The guy, not in the green shirt, the one to his right, looks like a cross between Sacha Baron Cohen and what's his name? He's in Deadpool 2. Pete as Peter, the guy with the mustache.
Oh, and he just
Rob?
joined something too.
He's in Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that's yep. Shoot, and he was in Hobbs and Shaw also.
Yeah. Rob Delaney.
Rob Delaney.
He's on that show. He had that TV show too. Happier times, simpler times, memories, balloons, sunlight. What is the nature of man but a way to explore humanity through a visual lens? Those words meant nothing. The sound effect of him eating.
I know. And again with that score.
The sound design of the scene and the shots. Unbelievable.
Okay. Everything about that, it was just so creepy.
So creepy.
And that score, once again, just the shots, everything about it is just remarkable.
I always love the houses in the Hollywood Hills that have a deck where you can look out to LA.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty.
I mean, I can appreciate him wanting to stay at times, but also I'm like, dude, just get the hell out. Just leave.
Yeah, I would have left, but then there'd be no film.
No, I know.
Also, if the last year has taught us anything, the comment, they're being so stupid no one would act that way. False. False.
Yeah. Oh, God, this like soft screaming thing and stuff.
What the hell are you doing?
Conveniently, no service up here. It's the second time that's been brought up. So forward.
Mexico. Goodness.
Again, so forward.
Goodness.
God, in a way, the way that the camera sat on them while it was happening, it's just so good, man.
With the pool in between them.
Yeah.
Mostly in silhouette.
If you haven't seen it for 2 years, why?
Because they done joined their
Yep.
group of peoples.
He's not the one acting weird.
Well, and
Right.
again, it's the way that the people around him flip his attitude and his actions onto him. And there's something about that that's so creepy, but it's so true of any like religion or cult. You always try to shine a mirror and, reflects shit onto people.
Yeah.
What up, Star Drew?
Hello.
These long shots of the Hollywood Hills right here are so beautiful, and like the lights of Los Angeles in the background.
The realization is like sinking in.
Look for a fucking patisserie. Word choice is choy.
Ooh, there's a place I haven't gone in a while. I kind of want to go maybe tomorrow morning and get some pastries from this place.
Ooh, the music.
I know. And that look, by the way, on top of it, like that look on his face and the realizations.
And the slow, like the way he's walking up the stairs.
And again, that camera movement is. I can't say just how wonderful it is. Like it's so unnerving in every right way, and
Maybe this is the next game called "What's Your Favorite Scary Movie?" What is going on? Like, imagine if he blew out the candles and then the lights flipped back on and they were all dead. That would be creepy.
Mm-hmm.
no joke.
PJ, can you get started or a time code?
Oh god. So we're on Netflix, so it's backwards, but 37, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30. God, he's such a good actor. The steady build to this blow up.
I don't know if this counts, Andy, but I watched some episodes of Lost on an airplane. Not sure that was the best choice. Well, this is true, Andy. I agree with that, but I definitely got some side eye from other people on the plane. Like, really, this is what he's gonna watch?
The doorbell ringing so conveniently when stuff starts getting
I was
tense
gonna
is
say the
just-
timing is so convenient.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's Choi.
Yep.
And now has a look like, am I crazy?
The stuff he can do with his eyes, like,
Definitely convenient for them because they were probably like, well, shit, if Troy was here, I don't know what happened to him. We didn't do anything to him.
I'm 28 minutes into what kind of rabbit hole I've crawled into.
Yep. Good luck, Reefism. I know you're watching this farther. You'll hear it when you get to it, but good God, man.
So creepy the way he said that.
It's all just so unnerving and creepy and wrong and weird. I would just get the hell out of there, man. Like, everything about this is just so wrong. Just get the fuck out. Protect yourself. Save yourself.
Just the shot of the little hands in between it. Oh God.
Yeah. That shot of all the versions of him from the mirror is so good.
They found the perfect house to use so he could be outside, but you could still see the entire dining room. It's so efficient for filmmaking.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen to Kira and get the F out.
That's all I'm saying, man. Get the fuck away from that place.
And that's, I mean, we have pieced it together by now, but that's the first time the words are said. My son is dead.
This is so heartbreaking. That line when he's like, "I've been waiting to die since the moment it happened," is one of the most heartbreaking and just destructive things.
I hear that feeling a lot in from, you know, a parent should never have to lose their child, but
yeah, you should never have to bury a child. It just
Of course.
Again, man, just this. The score, the way it sits, and just like the sound design of everything that goes with it is just impeccable.
And this scene, the way it, juxtaposes him entering the room and then also simultaneously reliving moments with the sun, the lighting changes. Very different room.
And then like this just right here, like with him lighting the lamp, and it's just so eerie.
Very. And with the soft focus on all the lights from Los Angeles down below the hills.
Yeah.
A laptop, you say? Let's investigate, shall we? Ugh.
Oh, God.
Creepy.
Man. It's just everything about it is so wrong and unnerving.
I mean, it's such a fascinating place for a character to be in because he's fully aware that nothing is right, but he's also still dealing with so much grief from the death of his son and that being triggered by being back home with his ex and where
Yeah.
they lived, that he's almost gaslighting himself and being gaslit by everyone around to ignore what else is going on.
Yeah.
After watching that video, I'm certainly not drinking anything that they're
No,
giving me.
definitely not.
Mm-mm.
The way he starts to look around again, and it's just like,
What kind of wine is this, you said? Oh, it's a Pinot Noir.
It's horrible. Horrible.
oh my god.
Here we go.
It goes up to 11.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh god.
now do you think Will is crazy?
And then how everything just like flips.
Yep. It's this kind of movie. It's the brilliance of the flip.
Oh boy.
And the music, the way that it,
Music.
yeah.
Mm.
What's up, Wingblade?
What up, Sean? And the lack of actually hearing what anyone's saying or how they're reacting goes such a long way.
The single pluck of the string
Yeah.
instrument.
It just hits on such a creepy and unnerving tone.
I love a good slasher. I love a movie with well executed jump scares, but when a movie builds like this, it can get under your skin in a way that's so much more effective.
100%.
I mean, he knows the house. He lived there.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Even the camera is now more handheld.
Yeah. Like it switches filmmaking.
It does. Everything turns.
And I love that because now it feels like like you've waited for the escalation, now it's kind of happened.
It's glass. Break it. Sorry. Oh, God. To just watch it happen.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell are you supposed to do?
Yeah, good night, Kale. Have a good night, man.
Good night.
Later.
Dude, just the unnerve and the complete silence until they start to move in and then the chords start to slowly play.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
When you watch a film like this that is so brilliantly directed, and look, I don't sit here and pretend to know Karyn's interests and career and stuff, but you see white guys who make worse movies and then get massive features.
Mm-hmm.
It does make you wonder.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Again, I don't know Karyn's story. Maybe she's offered tons of stuff, and I don't know, you know?
Right.
But for what it's worth.
I mean, she feels like someone that any of these studios should have swiped.
Yeah,
pretty
I mean,
quickly, but
look,
maybe she turned him down.
She might have, and you know, she did get a somewhat of a chance with Aeon Flux, so it's not as if she would be against
Yeah.
that kind of world.
Just like sitting there and him listening in on it and just how insane it sounds, you know?
Yeah. But it's the type of thing that you understand why vulnerable people would be tricked by that line of thinking.
Yeah.
And now you really have to wonder who's handled losing their son in a better or worse way. If you didn't post those eyes, who posted those eyes?
These eyes.
Get out of there. Don't go near her. Go the other way.
These eyes have seen him.
Sing it, Tim. Is what Sean says in the chat.
Yeah.
How you doing, Brandy?
Everything about having to like be so slow moving through here too, and so quiet, hoping you don't disturb anyone or anything. Like,
and you can't even react
yeah.
because you give your location away.
Oh God.
Here comes Pruitt. Scary ass motherfucker. Oh,
Ugh.
oh.
Yes.
Oh, right to the face.
Yep.
Maybe another. Yeah. Keep going.
Hey, if he's such a hurry to get there, let's send him there.
Yep. Send him.
His scream right there, though, is primal. Like,
And the sound effect. Oh.
yeah.
Mm.
And then her turn.
Ow.
Just, yeah.
Why would you shoot yourself
Something
in
so
the stomach?
visceral about shooting yourself in the stomach.
It's like the slow death. It's awful.
But maybe something symbolic about it, considering she lost a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything about how this situation escalated just is so nightmarish.
She's with them now.
Yeah.
Convenient. The way he's slowly, methodically making his way up the stairs.
Yep. Get him.
Sometimes you just gotta stab a guy.
Yep. Especially after everything he put you through.
In the context of a horror film, please don't clip that out of context.
Yeah. In the context of the movie The Invitation, which is what we are currently watching.
Directed by Karyn Kusama.
Yeah.
When Michael Heisman gets stabbed, I was saying sometimes you have to stab him because he was a bad guy. Just to be clear. It's a good thing he's not here to misquote me on that one, Brandy, let me tell you.
Probably better, yeah.
See, what I think makes this movie great is this. Even amidst its sort of tonally drastically different third act, that works, that I think it builds too beautifully, where it all of a sudden becomes a home invasion slasher type movie.
Yeah.
It's still, at the end of the day, about their grief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Starger, I think you were about 7 or 8 minutes ahead of us for some reason. That's okay. Thanks for hanging anyways.
Yeah, as always.
There's always something about blood on a white dress.
Yeah, I think that Ready or Not was real brilliant in using that as
Yes. Okay, so I don't want to say anything just yet, but I shouldn't feel bad that she died, but I do.
Well, the movie makes you feel for her in a way. Like, you can tell she really doesn't necessarily want to be part of all of it.
Yeah, I don't think she was the.
No, I agree.
She's like the sympathetic member.
Yeah.
Who went there out of,
She was just looking for a way to deal with her pain, and she found people who tricked her.
Yeah. And they used her. Then they used how she was feeling, and that's how a lot of this stuff happens.
Yeah. And now here's where
all the red lights.
Yeah.
So creepy.
Right, so earlier when we saw him light the red lantern, we just thought nothing of it. Until... Oh, the scream. The look on their faces as they're pretty much lit only by the red light.
And the helicopter.
The helicopter.
Feels like chaos.
Oh God, that shot with the fucking red lights, the gunshot.
Oh man.
Maybe one of the great last shots in recent history.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I wouldn't want to see a traditional sequel to this movie. I don't want to see what happens after this to Will and Kira. What I would love to see is
Another
a movie that
perspective.
takes place at the same time at another house.
Yeah, like another perspective.
Yeah. I think that could be fascinating because, again, what I think is so great about this movie, and I think it's great, is how it balances the slow build towards the horror and the realization at the end and the violence with a very potent examination of grief, and in particular grief over a lost child.
Yeah.
So to switch to another house that's going to light that red lantern and see what was going on and what the context there was and what those characters are going through could be fascinating.
Well, especially because now that we know what's going on, you'd also have to play it a different way, which would be interesting as well because we know what the outcome is, you know?
Right.
So how do you
wouldn't necessarily have it be such a build to because similarly, and it's interesting because you brought up Us, and they're similar in tone and soundtrack, but like another Us movie that's happening at the same time where you see another family encounter their doppelgangers.
Yeah, 100%.
Similarly, where I don't want to see what happens after, but something happening concurrently. Like we were sort of skirting around earlier talking about Resolution and the Endless. And how, because both of those deal with a cult and this deals with a cult. I mean, the way that sequel functions is other stuff happening at the same time.
Right.
Oh, Belford in the chat.
What up, Belford? Yeah, and I mean, that's part of the thing that made The Endless so interesting, right? Was kind of examining that world even more. And it's actually very similar to this movie in some very interesting ways.
But yeah, guys, that was Karyn Kusama's Invitation, picked by Brandy. Again, I think it's a fantastic film. It's so successful at everything it tries to do. And what I think is so special about it is it leaves you unsettled and scared. There's a lot of great fun horror movies where you are having fun in the moment and you're jumping and they're scary and then it's over and it's over. But this one just creeps under your skin and sits with you. It's fantastic.
And it feels real.
Those like unsettling cult films are like one of my favorites. I love it so much. That's why I love Midsummer.
I love Midsummer as well. Very much.
I also think of Red State. That's another one, and that one's even more interestingly real because of what it's based around too.
Waco.
No, Westboro.
Westboro.
Oh, you're right. Well, it's yeah. I need to rewatch that. I only saw it once.
That movie also similarly unnerves me for similar reasons because they're creepy religious based type stuff. Like there's something about the power that something like that holds over a person and the thing that it pushes them to do. And I think that growing up in a family that was religious, you also even see it in like the way that people talk. And you don't like I am no longer religious. We've talked about that, and like you see it as you look out, and you kind of see some of the way that people act, and you're like, huh, interesting. And it becomes a weird hive mind.
It does not take much intellectual manpower to believe that religion can have a very strong and potentially dangerous hold over people. Especially vulnerable people who are going through shit.
Yeah. Remember when Boy Meets World did an episode about that? Actually,
I do.
Yeah, when Sean accidentally joins a cult. Yeah, good times.
Cults. Wow. Wow.
So that was the invitation. On that note, do we have anything we want to talk about, or we just want to get out of here tonight?
Nah, let's just get out of here.
All right. Well, it was good seeing all of you. Tim, where do they find you?
You can find me just around. Just find me. Find me on Twitter at tfranco84. And yeah, that's where. So.
Also, yeah, Maxwell.
You can find me here on the Pajukin. I don't disagree with this. Politics is starting to mirror religion.
I don't either.
You could find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Cinemaxwell, Instagram Cinemaxwell Inc. And maybe in some other stuff coming up soon. Who knows? I'm trying to be busy and do fun things. So we'll see.
Twitter, Instagram, PJ_Campbell, Movie Trivia Showdown, Head Writer, Nice the Writer is Only Human. Cool beans. We out.
Wear masks.
Mask up.
I'm having a big party next